A possible trade involving one of the most promising names on the roster? Fan-favorite players suddenly facing an uncertain future? And a quarterback who's fully healthy but seems buried at the bottom of the depth chart? Things are heating up in Detroit, and with the draft right around the corner, GM Brad Holmes is already cooking up strategies that could catch even the most die-hard fans off guard. There's a player who shined in 2024 now, quietly being talked about behind the scenes for a reason no one saw coming. And another guy, fully healthy, somehow fading into the background. And that's not even the wildest part. The decisions coming up could shake the Lions roster like we haven't seen in years. So hit that like button because you won't want to miss a single detail of what's unfolding. Alright, buckle up, because with the 2025 NFL Draft just around the corner, the Detroit Lions are sitting on 7 picks and maybe not enough roster room to actually use them all. That's the kind of good problem you want if you're building a winning team. But don't think GM Brad Holmes is going to sit on his hands. If there's a chance to move up and snag a guy they love, you better believe he's dialing phones. We've seen Holmes be aggressive before, especially on day 2, trading up to land guys he's high on, even if the jury's still out on a couple of them. But here's the twist: if Detroit wants to climb the draft board, they might have to ship out a player or two. Whether it's to recoup a pick they traded away or to make room for a fresh face, a few names on the current roster could be packing bags before the draft weekend wraps. Let's start with RB Craig Reynolds. Dude's the definition of a grinder loved in the locker room, plays hard on special teams, and buys into Dan Campbell's do-whatever-it-takes vibe. But with Sione Vaki breathing down his neck and already proving himself a better fit for that role, Reynolds' days in Honolulu Blue might be numbered. If a team misses out on a backup RB in the draft, he could get moved on day 3. Then there's CB Amik Robertson. The idea of moving him hasn't been super popular, and rightfully so. The dude adds depth and grit. But if Detroit grabs a corner early in the draft, things get a little crowded. Holmes is all about stacking DBs, but at some point, somebody's gotta go. And if Robertson's role starts shrinking, don't be shocked if he's part of a deal. Next up, Jameson Williams. Yep, that Jameson. After a solid 2024 campaign, he's trending up and looking like he could command big-time money, Amon-Ra level cash maybe. But there are still questions about his maturity after last year's suspension and gun incident. Holmes mentioned looming extensions as a reason for being quiet in free agency. So, could JMO be a cap casualty in disguise? It's not likely, but it ain't crazy either. Now let's talk Josh Paschal. He's flashed here and there, but 3 years in, 5 sacks and an underwhelming pass rush win rate don't scream second-round value. He's been healthy, but also kind of invisible. If the Lions draft an edge guy early, Paschal could be shoved down the depth chart fast. If a team thinks they can unlock his potential, Holmes might listen to offers. And finally, QB Hendon Hooker. Man, this one's tough. He turns 27 this year and still hasn't sniffed real action. When Teddy Bridgewater came off the couch to be QB2 in the playoffs, that was a giant neon sign saying, "We don't trust Hooker yet." Goff is locked in through 2028, so where exactly does Hendon fit? Honestly, he doesn't. Teams looking for a developmental QB like the Saints might be willing to roll the dice. If Detroit can get decent value and has a plan to draft another developmental guy, this could be the move. Bottom line, the Lions are primed to make noise during the draft, and a few familiar faces might be part of the soundtrack. Do you think it's smart to shake up key pieces from last season's success? Drop your take in the comments. And don't go anywhere. The next story puts Detroit fans in the middle of an emotional showdown. Detroit sports fans, buckle up because April 24 is about to hit you like a freight train full of playoff dreams and draft drama. That Thursday night, the Motor City faithful are staring down a brutal decision. Do you ride the playoff wave with the Pistons or lock in for round 1 of the NFL draft with your beloved Lions? Here's the dilemma. The Pistons? Yeah, those Pistons are finally back in the postseason spotlight, hosting their first home playoff game since 2019. And this isn't just any game. It's Game 3 of their first-round series against the New York Knicks, and it's happening right in the heart of the city at Little Caesars Arena. This squad, led by rising star Cade Cunningham, just pulled off one of the biggest glow-ups in NBA history, going from a league-worst 14-68 last year to a legit 44-38 playoff team. That's not just a turnaround, it's historic. No NBA team has ever tripled their win total from one season to the next, until now. The buzz around this new-look Pistons group is real. They've got that gritty, physical edge throwback vibes to the Bad Boys and the 0-4 champs. The city's hungry for postseason success, especially after going 0 for everything in the playoffs since 2008. But just as the Pistons tip off around 7 p.m., Brasilia time, the 2025 NFL Draft will be firing up in Green Bay at 8 p.m. And with the Lions holding the 28th overall pick, fans can expect Detroit to be on the clock around 11:35 p.m., right about the time the final buzzer sounds at LCA. So what's it going to be? Rock the arena with Cade and the crew, or stay glued to the screen, hoping Brad Holmes makes a splash with another smart, aggressive move in the draft? Could be a trade-up, could be a surprise fall into their lap. With 7 picks to play with, anything's possible. Bottom line, Detroit fans are about to experience a night packed with hope, hype, and probably a few existential sports crises. If you've got 2 screens, now's the time to use them. Honestly, the Lions are at a point where every move carries serious weight. If these rumored changes actually go down, it could be the spark they need to chase a Super Bowl, or the kind of decision fans regret for years. And emotionally, this is next level watching the Pistons rise from the ashes on the same night as the NFL Draft, only in Detroit. But if the Lions play their cards right, this April could mark the beginning of something big. So hit that subscribe button and stay tuned, because you deserve to stay one step ahead when it comes to your favorite team.